From me this week, so I won't take long. It's a very humbling thing when you're endorsed by your colleagues, your peers, and as I said on Friday, my very close friends. The office of itself is not the issue, it's what you can achieve in that role. And I ask you to watch very closely over the next couple of years, because I intend to give this job everything that I've got. I promise our new President my utter support, loyalty and good counsel. Thank you for the honour, and I'm very humbled. Thank you.
And now I invite the outgoing President, Steve Hamilton, to invest our new President, Associate Professor Brian Owler.
Well, thank you. It is indeed humbling, and I do hope that I can repay the trust and confidence that you've shown in electing me as the new AMA President. It's also good to have Steve Parness, who has been a supporter, as Vice President, and I hope as a team we can deliver the outcomes that we've talked about during this conference. It has been an excellent national conference, and I'd like to acknowledge all those that have put in the effort to make sure that this conference has been such a success, and certainly the topics that we've covered are so important, not just for us here in Australia, but for the health of all of those around the world. The reason that I'm here is to talk about both Dr. Steve Hamilton and Professor Jeffrey Dobb. Steve Hamilton makes the job look easy. I've stood back and watched him in council meetings as he's brought people to consensus, as he's tackled complex problems, thromboid fish poisoning and other difficult issues that you would never expect anyone to have the sort of depth of knowledge about. The last 3 years have not been easy for Steve, and there were times when he really kept the AMA going. From the outside, you would never have known that there was the difficulties going on inside when we had no Secretary-General. The staff did an amazing job, but it was Steve spending hours and hours in the AMA offices keeping things afloat. And he did the same thing for the Medical Journal of Australia. Yet here we are, having installed a new MJA editor who is of the highest calibre, a great Secretary-General, and after this conference, the constitutional change which will really liberate the Federal Council to be the policy-making body that it should be. And these achievements have been possible through Steve Hamilton's hard work and dedication. I think one of the highlights has been this third year of his presidency. There are a lot of things that he's done in the public health arena around immunisation. There are a lot of work in terms of advocacy and things like Scrap the Cap, and we've been through a federal election as well. But I think when he went to Queensland to try and bring unity, to bring public opinion on our side, to get the results that looked like they were so far away at the time, and to be in the position that we are now, I think we all, right around the country, owe Steve Hamilton a great debt of gratitude. There are indeed big shoes to fill. He is trusted by politicians, sought out by the media constantly, and I'm sort of looking forward to the number of media calls that Steve Hamilton has been getting over the past few years, but the way he's juggled that and his appearances in the media, the level-headedness and the calmness which he approached complex issues, I think has been something quite wonderful. So I thank him for his hard work and dedication to this organisation, much of which went on behind the scenes and out of public eye, but he certainly has done a magnificent job and delivered us an AMA that we can take forward in the years ahead. So thank you, Steve. I also want to pay tribute to Professor Jeffrey Dobb. He has been an excellent Vice President. And the hardest thing about the election that we've been through is the fact that I admire Jeffrey and respect Jeffrey as much as anyone else in the room. His contributions over the past few years, particularly around public health advocacy, have been enormous. I do hope that we can find ways that Jeffrey can continue to contribute in the future. And so thank you, Jeffrey, and thank you for the way the election was conducted. We said to each other last night, it was an election that was conducted in a good spirit and with a lot of respect, so thank you. So thank you again, everyone, and I hope that we can live up to the expectations, and I look forward to seeing you in Brisbane next year. Thank you.
And it's my pleasure to invite the new President to perform his first official function, which is to bestow the outgoing President with the outgoing President's Medal. Ladies and gentlemen, that brings us to the end of National Conference, and a very successful one. The new President and Vice President will speak to the media in the Torrens room. That's if there's any media here to hear that. The Federal Council will meet at 1 o'clock and lunch will be served. In closing National Conference, I will again thank the sponsors to National Conference. There's a long list, but Telstra, Macquarie Leasing, American Express, Volkswagen, OnePath and Avant. Thank you and safe travels.